I'm Griff Robodanger, and in this video, I'm going to stage a dream matchup between horror icons Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers, except I'm going to let a computer help me write the story. This is
Scary Stories Plus.
If you're familiar with my Scary Stories series, you know in that series I use AI to rewrite horror movies. But in Scary Stories Plus, I'm taking it a step further by setting up a story that doesn't even exist yet. I write the opening scenes to get the ball rolling, then let the AI take over the story. Throughout the story, I'll intervene to keep the AI from veering too far off track. I'm also using AI image generators to illustrate some of the AI-generated portions of the story, to the best of their ability. Let's begin. So because I don't have an existing story to go off of this time, I had to create my own. My setup will begin during the events of Halloween Kills. It's 2018 and Michael Myers has returned to Haddonfield after 40 years to go on a brutal murder spree. Tommy Doyle, who first faced Michael as a child, hears the news that Michael has escaped and decides to rally the town of Haddonfield to hunt for Michael and take him down. In our story, Tommy has a wife and a 12-year-old son. Before Tommy sets out to hunt down Michael, he calls his wife Betty and tells her his plan. Betty pleads with Tommy, begging him not to go hunt down Michael because it's too dangerous. "You've been drinking, this is stupid," she says. Tommy tells her he has to do this because Michael has already killed his friend Marion and wounded his friends Lori and Lindsay. Tommy tells Betty to lock the doors and protect their 12-year-old son, Cody. So Cody has been eavesdropping and he hears the entire call. He hears his mother tell his father to come home and let the state police deal with it. But Tommy tells her that Michael is evil and evil dies tonight. A tearful Betty goes upstairs and grabs a shotgun from the cabinet. Cody asks her what she's doing with the gun. "I need to bring your idiot father home before he gets himself killed." Betty brings Cody over to the neighbor's house and asks them to watch Cody. He watches through the window as his mother gets in their car with the shotgun and drives away into the night. Betty drives through the streets of Haddonfield searching for Tommy. She hears gunshots from a street away. She follows the sound and finds the spot where Tommy and several others had attempted to form a trap for Michael in the street. Except it didn't work, and Michael killed them all off. Betty arrives just in time to see Michael Myers murder Tommy. In a fit of rage, Betty grabs her shotgun, gets out of the car, and chases after Michael. She rushes up to Michael, who hears her coming, and turns around. Betty pauses and carefully studies Michael's handsome face. She raises the shotgun but suddenly screams in terror as Tommy's face flashes in front of her. She drops the gun. Michael takes advantage of this opportunity to attack. He lunges at Betty and kills her by putting her in a chokehold. For a moment, he gains the upper hand. Well, isn't she killed? Then Betty kicks him between the legs and attacks him with a brush and axe handle. He grabs her and raises his right arm, holding a knife. She begins to chop at his arm with the axe handle. Michael breaks free of Betty's attack and holds the knife to her throat. Betty reaches for a nearby can of gasoline to put on Michael, but just as she lights the match, he tosses the knife at her and begins to strangle her. Betty attempts to break free, but Michael's grip is too strong. Betty dies, and Michael throws her dead body to the ground, where it falls next to the body of her husband, Tommy. Back at the neighbor's house, Cody watches out the window, waiting for his parents to return. Unaware, they both lie dead in the streets of Haddonfield. Alright, so now it's time to bring Jason into the mix. It's 3 years later. In the aftermath of the 2018 Michael Myers murder spree, the town remains haunted and terrified by the events of that night, always afraid that Michael will return. The now 15-year-old Cody is still grieving the death of both of his parents. He now lives with Lindsay Wallace, an old friend of his father. Lindsay goes to Cody's room to tell him it's time for school. She catches Cody on his computer, looking up famous serial killers. She's seen him do this before and she's worried about his mental state. Cody pretends to leave for school, but instead visits the home of his friend, Emily Miller. Emily's father was also killed by Michael Myers that night, when Michael killed her father by smashing his head in with the Boy Scout service ball bat. Is that an actual thing? I have no idea. So Cody and Emily want revenge on Michael Myers. They know they can't find him or take him on alone, but Cody has learned about a dark magic spell that can bring a dead person back from hell and use them to do your bidding. And Cody has found the perfect candidate, Jason Voorhees, a serial killer who murdered hundreds of people in the area of Crystal Lake, New Jersey in the 80s and 90s before being killed. Cody wants to summon Jason from hell, then command Jason to kill Michael Myers. Cody explains that there are 3 steps to bring Jason Voorhees back from the dead. The first step is cast a ritual, like the one performed at Crystal Lake. The second step involves the sacrifice of a virgin. The third step is for everyone to chant Michael Myers' name. Emily knows about the sacrifice, but she's having a hard time coming up with the virgin part of the ritual. We have to kill a virgin, she asks? Cody explains he has a plan. With the virgin sacrifice part, I thought we could call some friends over, or we could play a prank on one of the kids at school, he says. Emily isn't keen on the prank idea. It's not funny, she says. You shouldn't joke around about this. That's a good point. So Cody asks, what if the virgin wasn't human? What if the virgin was a little kid? What? Emily answers it would be less disturbing. What the f***, Emily? Are you deranged? How is that less disturbing? Okay, listen, I just can't. I have to call upon one of my never-before-seen scary stories powers, the reroll. Cody asks, what if the virgin wasn't human? What if the virgin was a Harpaga, right? It has a lot of demon blood. It's male, but doesn't show any reproductive part. What if the sacrifice was a skooma, which is an old Indian drinking ritual? For the skooma, it takes one male human sacrifice and replaces it with the spirit of a cannibal. Whatever the hell that means, I guess it's still better than sacrificing a kid. The skooma would possess the virgin as Michael Myers would possess Emily's body. Cody proceeds to tell Emily the next step. After we have the skooma spirit invade Emily's body, and with my brother using holy water to keep Michael from being able to touch it, he has a brother now? You and I will stand back and watch the creature possess her and do Michael Myers' bidding. Emily throws up. Yeah, no shit, right? Emily, he says, the skooma is stronger and more skilled than its mortal incarnation. I know my powers are limited, but with you inside it, it'll be unstoppable. I would not... Emily's tongue gets caught in her throat. I don't want to use the skooma to kill Michael Myers. I just want to escape hell. If it's okay with you, can we do this tonight? We don't have to sacrifice a virgin. I mean, maybe you could have suggested this the first time, Cody? He tells her that his plan will create more collateral damage than Michael Myers ever did. Maybe rethink it? Fine, Emily says. So, at midnight, at the start of Halloween, Cody and Emily begin the ritual to bring Jason Voorhees back from the dead and summon him to appear in Haddonfield. The ritual begins with Cody drawing Michael's name out of the box of sand in a bottle. Next, he submerges the finger in an unknown liquid and rings it. He recites a slew of words in ancient Greek, and before he does, he inserts a family heirloom belonging to Jason's grandfather. After speaking to her dead grandpa, Emily lays down on the floor and prays to Jason Voorhees. Cody realizes the sacrifice has not taken place and jumps to his feet. You need to do it now. You have to be a virgin. You have to be a virgin. Come on, just be a virgin already. Emily laughs. I'll do my best. The ritual completes and Jason Voorhees returns to the world by appearing on the kitchen counter. Meanwhile, on the other side of Haddonfield, Michael Myers lurks in the sewer, where he's been living for the past 3 years. It's Halloween, the day he's been waiting to make his return and resume his evil murder spree. He leaves the sewer and heads into town to find his first victim, 18-year-old Candace Clarence. All she's there to sign required state consent forms ahead of the plastic surgery that will give her the perfect look, complete with cropped blonde hair and full lips. Once she's put under anesthesia, Michael silently slips into her body and kills her in her own bed. We're just gonna assume that he's somehow demonically possessing her because, yeah. So back at Emily's house, Jason Voorhees is alerted. Somehow, Jason can sense whenever Michael Myers kills someone, even on the other side of town. Jason leaves the house and heads in the direction of Michael Myers. As Jason is sneaking his way through town, he encounters a young teenager who has an invisible switchblade knife. The kid is cleaning his car with the hood up when Jason snatches his knife. Jason rips the hood down and gives the kid a light kick to the stomach. "Watch it, motherfucker," Jason says. "I'm sorry," the kid pleads. Jason slashes at the knife with his machete and the kid drops it. The kid says, "Oh no, don't hurt me." Meanwhile, Michael Myers is across town, continuing his murder spree. He walks into a local bar and kills the bartender. Michael gives him a perfect chopping motion with his machete, and the bartender drops to the floor like a ragdoll. Then Michael says, "Sorry, I'm afraid the mill is about to close." You maybe need to work on those catchphrases, buddy. A young man jumps up and runs away. Michael is about to go into another bar when he sees a man in a wheelchair. He says, "Hi." The man gives Michael a silent salute. "How you doing?" Michael says. "Just take your chair and move it out of my way," the man tells Michael. Michael is incensed and asks, "Hey man, what's your problem?" The man sits back down in his wheelchair and says, "I'm here to hear what's on the jukebox. If you want to hear something, I suggest you stand up and get off your butt and buy a beer," Michael says. "But for now, get out of my way and let me buy my beer." So, Michael Myers buys a beer and chugs it, I guess. Meanwhile, Jason walks through the streets of Haddonfield searching for Michael. Jason is surrounded by several police officers. The police have received word that Michael Myers is on the loose. When they see Jason Voorhees, they mistake him for Michael Myers. "Is that him?" one of the officers asks. The police officers all point their guns at Jason Voorhees. Jason responds by pulling out his machete and decapitating each officer. The other officers panic and shoot Jason in the chest. The police then drag Jason's corpse through the street. This is the third time Jason has been seen. The first time was in Friday the 13th Part 3 when he was being transported to the insane asylum. The second time was in Jason X when a couple of mind-controlling metahumans give Jason a permanent retinal implant. Jason Voorhees doesn't have eyes anymore, but he does have the ability to monitor the brains of those around him. Jason is slowly turning everyone on Earth into his zombies. Okay, I actually kind of want to do a spin-off story of that now. Jason's dead body is hauled away by police officers. When they show up at home, a middle-aged woman and her young daughter are watching TV in the living room. The woman sees Jason Voorhees on the TV and screams, "Oh no, he's got us too!" Okay, while this is happening, Michael Myers continues his bloodshed. He decides to kill the young innocent people on Haddonfield's prom queen's float. The woman and her daughter are still on the TV. They have an automatic pistol and are trying to find something to shoot. They see Jason on TV, waving his machete around. They instantly shoot him. How? The woman points her gun at the TV screen and says, "Shoot him again! I'll do it!" The TV explodes. The sound of the exploding TV draws the attention of Michael Myers, who is nearby. Michael Myers follows the sound until he finds the house where the TV exploded. Michael Myers goes inside the house and attacks the parents and daughter, killing them all. Michael then attacks and kills several children at a nearby baseball game. Good lord, what does this AI have against children? Michael walks into a hardware store and finds out that it's time to build the funeral pyre to all the dead kids and adults. Michael has to hurry though because the sun is already starting to set. Let's catch up with Cody and Emily. They hear about all the violence that's going on around town. "This is all our fault," Emily says, crying. "We have to stop this." Cody nods in agreement. Michael is confronted by men with black battle helmets. I guess we're moving on from Cody and Emily. One man drives a tank, and another drives a jeep. Michael is ready to fight. "I'm going to destroy you," Michael says. "Do you really think you can beat me? I'm the scariest guy in the whole town." The two men charge Michael and try to tackle him, but Michael easily overpowers them and kills them with a sledgehammer to their skulls. Meanwhile, Jason Voorhees drags Ryan Backstrom's body to the film's version of Mr. Jacob's freezing pond. Whatever the hell that is. Jason brutally drowns Ryan, who is still in his hockey uniform. After he is done, Jason leaves Ryan's body in the forest. Dude, you're supposed to be in Haddonfield killing Michael Myers. So Jason looks back towards Haddonfield and sees the smoke coming from the center of town. He heads towards the smoke and he finds Michael Myers, who's built an elaborate funeral pyre to his murdered victims, which is a Samhain ritual. As Michael watches the funeral pyre burn, Jason approaches. Michael turns away from the fire and sees Jason, holding a bloody machete. The two killers slowly approach each other. Jason attacks Michael by throwing a rock at his head. I mean, whatever works, I guess. Michael easily ducks it and uses the backswing to stab Jason in the shoulder with his machete. Jason retaliates by running up to Michael, swinging his machete and cutting Michael's leg. Michael tries to shoot Jason, but misses. Michael then chases after Jason, trying to run him down. Jason Voorhees stops running and tries to kill Michael Myers with a running jump kick, using only his left foot. Michael is blocked by a couch that then suddenly moves. The couch blocks Jason for a second and allows Michael to catch up with Jason. Michael and Jason come face to face with each other, screaming in each other's faces. Jason says, "Screw you," as he taunts Michael. Jason winks at Michael. "No eye for an eye, huh?" Michael says, while poking Jason in the chest. Michael and Jason then stare each other down until Michael shoots Jason in the head with his shotgun. Michael hides the gun, runs away, then sees Laurie Strode with John Huntzucker. "Hi." Michael turns around and smiles at Laurie, a sinister smirk spreading across his face. Emily Lockwood, wasn't her name Miller before? Looks at Jason Voorhees in a whole new light. After seeing what the hockey player did to Ryan, oh great, so the AI thinks Jason's a hockey player too, and killing the 5 people at the picnic, she realizes how twisted and evil Jason really is. "Those are the same people we went to school with," she says to him. "Okay, you're 15. Jason was not one of your classmates. How did they turn into monsters like you?" "I'm a monster. Don't you get it?" Jason Voorhees replies. "I'm a monster." With that, Michael Myers quickly knocks Jason out and leaves the scene. Michael Myers catches up to Laurie Strode while she is crying over the destruction she witnessed at the picnic. "I thought about you so much while I was eating the sandwiches," Michael Myers says as he crouches down to grab a blanket. "I wished I would have killed everyone." Laurie does not move. She does not cry. Okay, that's cool and all, but Jason Voorhees wakes up and finds Michael Myers talking to Laurie Strode. Jason grabs the closest weapon he can find, a wooden sign, and chucks it at Michael Myers. The sign goes over the top of Michael's head, almost literally coming through Michael's head. Michael then says, "I thought I'd pick the sign out of your hand." "Next time," Michael says, pointing his gun at Jason. The fight begins between Jason and Michael, as each try to kill the other. Finally, Michael Myers manages to pin Jason to a cement barrier and shoots him in the stomach, causing him to vomit blood, causing his body to be unresponsive to pain. "Hey, Michael man, wake up." Emily Lockwood grabs Laurie Strode by the arm and tells her to run as fast as she can. Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees, they're too busy trying to kill each other. Michael Myers attacks Jason with a chainsaw. While Jason is getting hit with the chainsaw, Emily grabs a metal rod and bashes Jason's knee into the cement. Michael and Jason are then fighting on the roof of the school, and they both jump on the hood of a car, crashing through the roof and then falling to the ground. Okay, let's wrap this up. Jason and Michael both attempt one final lunge at one another. The fight to the death ends with Michael shot in the stomach with a shotgun, and Jason mortally wounded. Jason tells Michael that he loved him and is sorry for everything he did to him. "Just because you had to come back, it doesn't mean I'm sorry," Jason Voorhees says. Wait, he literally just said he's sorry for everything. Michael does not say anything, but continues to die. Well, that seems like a weirdly poignant place to leave things off. Here are a few AI test creations I couldn't use in the story, but I thought they were funny. "Who the hell are you?" Craig asks. "I'm Jason Voorhees, and I'm about to help you." Luke is confused. "Jason? Jason Voorhees?" The final step is to wish evil on someone before you are evil. God forbid that be anyone who fought or resisted. It's your mom, for God's sake. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this take on scary stories, hit that like button and let me know what you thought in the comments. Check out this other stuff and consider subscribing. And until next time, later, Danger Seekers.